Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Wednesday, the 22nd of December, 2021, on Vision Store's Exploring Technology with David Woodbridge webinar on the year in review of products featured at Vision Store. My name is Tony Wu, and I'll be one of your co-hosts, and I'm joined by my fellow co-host, David Woodbridge. I would like to begin the session by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today. I would like to pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. This webinar will be recorded for those who cannot stay for the entire session, and you can access the recording later by visiting our Vision Australia YouTube channel. This is an interactive session, so please submit any questions that you may have for David throughout the session by using our chat box. For those that use a screen reader, you can access the chat function through keystrokes Alt-H or Command-H if you use a Mac. We'll endeavour to answer as many questions as we can and as many as time permits. Welcome, David.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy. So please, go ahead, you first.
Yes, please get started, I know. I'm too keen, mate. So I've set a bit of a test for myself today because people who have heard me on previous webinars might hear me have said, this is my favourite product and this one is other my favourite product. So I'm going to try very hard today not to say that this is my favourite product. So we'll see how we go. And number two, I'm hoping to get through the whole webinar, but my daughter's about to have out my grandson. So she's been in labour since about 7 o'clock this morning as we go to air today. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully I'll make it through the whole webinar. I should just send her a joke message to go, can you just hang off until I finish the meeting, please? I wouldn't do that to her. All right, so this is all the stuff that Tony and I have come across this year from the Vision Store. So it's not David's gadgets, it's Tony, David's and the Vision Store gadgets. So if you're thinking about I'm going to pick up anything weird and wonderful, besides the stuff from the Vision Store, then no, I'm not. So all my weird stuff will go for another time. So the first thing I want to talk about is the cordless phone package with answering machine. And these get updated every now and again, don't they, Tony? Because this particular one's, I think, is reasonably brand new.
Yes, that's correct.
And that's replaced our previous one. So does this one do with the talking handset as well, or we're not quite sure about the talking feature of the handset?
So this new model does not have the talking menu feature that you can enable. Mm-hmm. However, I have spoken to the supplier and manufacturer to see if they will consider putting it back on.
Yep.
Because it is a great feature for our low vision clients.
It is, but so primarily it's a large print phone at the moment, both the base station and the handset, and we've got lots of low vision customers that just appreciate the fact that when you look at a keypad on the keyboard, the keypad controls, and you look at the keypad on the little handset, then it's really good to have nice, clear, and well-defined buttons on the system. So that's the cordless phone. So the cordless phone with the handset.
And an answering machine as well.
And answering, I forgot about the answering machine. I was trying to read it backwards on my screen reader. All right. The next one is the new Braille displays from Humanware. So, of course, that's the Brilliant BI20X and the Brilliant BI40X. And, of course, the 20 and the 40 refers to how many cells or characters on the Braille display. And these Braille displays are what I tend to call smart Braille displays. So they've got a little bit of smarts inside them, such as note-taking and other options, besides being, of course, a refreshable Braille display to Microsoft Windows, the Mac, Android, and the iPhone/iPad. So they're actually both very, very good. They've got slightly different features between the 20 cell and the 40 cell. And Humanware is very committed to making them into something quite unique coming into 2022. They've been starting to talk about adding speech to the inside of it, because I'm pretty sure it's the 20, but don't quote me on that one. But it has got a headphone jack and it's got stereo speakers. So when it first came out, people were going, well, what the goodness is these stereo and the microphone for? So they've got quite a few interesting ideas down the track to make it into a speech output maybe recording notes, plus being a Braille display. So I think that's something to look forward to in 2022. The next one's my favorite one, is the infrared. Oh, damn!
That's one strike, David.
Oh, that just came out of my mouth so easily, that one too. Blast. All right, that's it. I'm going to pay more attention now. All right, my next product that caught my attention is the infrared personal thermometer. Now, to me, and I haven't really seen blasters in Star Trek, but to me, this feels like a little blaster device. So it's like a little gun device that you point the infrared sensor at your forehead, and you press basically almost feels like a pistol grip. You basically press the button, and then it reads out your body temperature, and it's actually touchless, so you don't have to touch the skin. It's effectively what people use in hospitals to check your forehead temperature when you rock in there to see your patients or see your friends inside the hospital. So that works really, really nicely. So when you turn it on, and then you point it at your head or somebody else, like your children, it just goes beep, 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 and then it announces the temperature. So it's very, very fast and very quick. The next one, which is quite handy for students or for people that just want to jot down a quick note, is the MicroSpeak digital voice recorder. So rather than having to buy an expensive, Victor Reader Stream or Victor Reader Trek or an iPhone or a Samsung phone, you can buy this for an effectively really, really cheap price, for about $100. Just excuse me for 2 seconds. I'm just going to remind my wife I'm doing a webinar because I've been kicked out of my lab room because my granddaughter's here. Hang on to you guys.
No worries.
There we go. How's that for the mute button on the microphone? I just yelled, nobody heard me. All right. So literally this has got a big, huge record button, a fast forward, a rewind, a play button, and of course a stop button, an on and off button. It's got a microphone, headphone jack, nice loudspeaker. It charges up via a micro USB cable, and it's just a nice, simple to use system. And what I really think is cool about it is from a techie point of view, when you press record, it goes beep, 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 beep. And that way, it's starting to start recording. So I feel like I'm a bit of a radio desk jockey, I'm getting timed in to actually do my radio program. So it is quite a lot of fun. And of course, you can link it up to a PC. So, Windows or a Mac, and you can download or, copy the recorded files over to the system, and they're effectively just time and date stamps, so you can work out what they are. Now, this one, Tony, you can speak to, because this one has really got my attention. Even though I'm a blind person, I think from a low vision person's point of view, this is great. Mm-hmm. And this is the LED handheld magnifier with three changeable heads. Do you just want to speak to that particular product?
Yeah, definitely. So this is one of the new optical magnifiers that a colleague has managed to help me source. And the great thing about this particular magnifier is that it comes with 3 interchangeable heads of various strengths. And from memory, the strengths of the magnifier is 2.5 times for the biggest or the largest lens size, followed by a 5 times, which is the medium one, and then a 16 times, which is the smallest lens size. And the handle has is very nice to grip as well. So it's very nice to hold, and it has also built-in LED lights, so it can illuminate or provide extra illumination if required. And I guess having the 3 interchangeable lenses, you can use it for different types of magnification tasks. But for $20, it's a real bargain.
So, Tony, does that mean the smaller the lens, the higher the magnification? Does it?
That's correct. That's correct. Oh. So the more narrow the field of view. So, as you go.
Because that, to me, that's weird. It's almost like the bigger the lens, the larger the magnification, but no.
No, it's the other way around.
Okay, so with the highest magnification, would that be, I'm assuming that's really good for reading very fine print that, of course, the lower magnification levels, if you like, are not going to let you get access to?
I guess it depends on the level of vision that you have currently.
Yep.
So if you have mild to, I guess, moderate central vision loss, then the 2.5 times will be quite good to enable you to do spot reading tasks. By spot reading tasks, I mean like you have a bill and you want to check who the bill is from, how much the bill is, and when the due date is. Or when you're out shopping, you want to look at price tags or read the cafe menu as an example. But because of the interchangeable lenses, if you need to go higher in strength because the vision has deteriorated a little bit, you can change and swap the lenses around. So and it utilizes 3 AAA batteries, which it doesn't come with from memory.
That's amazing. And then moving on to the Smart Go rechargeable lamp. Did you want to speak to that one? Because I'm assuming this is for task lighting.
Yes, that's correct. So this particular lamp is rechargeable, and you get up to 6.5 hours of light or usage. It emits a nice, cool white light. But yeah, it's just a task light. So if you need extra illumination to help you read documents or the newspaper or to do crossword puzzles, this is a great lamp to use. And it has a dimmable feature as well. So you can dim the lights if you find it too bright, for example.
So Tony, how portable is it? Because could you actually use it if you're looking for something in the pantry? Could you put it on, say, the shelf in your pantry and just have it illuminate around the lamp so you could see where your packet of whatever it might have got lost to in that particular shelf?
Yeah, definitely you can. Just trying to find out the specifications of the lamp. Just bear with me for a second.
Yep. I'm assuming, because what I was thinking about, it's fine using a torch, but I just thought a torch is a bit weird for visual people, particularly if you're trying to actually have something stable rather than trying to hold it with your hand all the time.
Yeah, definitely. It is very stable. Basically the light folds out, and you have a series of LED lights across the the part that folds out. I'm not really good at descriptions.
That's right.
But the dimensions is the height is 30 centimeters, the width is 10 centimeters, and the depth is 8.4 centimeters.
That's not bad.
And it weighs just less than half a kilo.
Okay. And do we know what sort of batteries it takes?
It's a rechargeable.
It's a rechargeable one. Okay,
yeah, it's
cool.
a rechargeable one. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Now the next one is very interesting because I sort of bought one of them because it had the word Apple in the name. So this is the talking bathroom scales. And it comes in 2 colors, midnight black and apple green. So of course I had to buy the apple green one, didn't I, being an Apple person? And it's just nice and simple. There's nothing complicated about it. You whack the batteries in the back, you stand on it, and it very proudly tells you your weight. It's not particularly loud, so the rest of the house is not going to hear it too well. But no, I just like it because it's just a flat surface. It's easy to use. Some of them I notice sometimes if you don't stand on them very quickly, they get a bit annoyed with you. But this one seems to give you I reckon that's a good generous 3 to 5 seconds to stabilize on it before it actually talks out your weight. So I'm not too sure what the maximum weight level for it is. I know our previous ones had a maximum of 180 kilos, but I'm not too sure about what this one is. But, for most people, I think it's going to be perfectly fine because I've been finding in the last couple of years or so, I've got a smart home. So I've got wired smart scales for the kitchen. I've got wired bathroom scales for my weight for the bathroom and so on. And just sometimes at the end of the day, I just want to turn something on or step on something and have it talk to me. I don't want to have to go to my smartphone, open up an app and read the information. So yes, I still have
a capacity of 180 kilos.
Oh, wow. It's the same as the other one. Wow.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah, so I just find sometimes, yes, I can, like I said, use my smartphone, open an app, but just sometimes it's just nice and straightforward to have something to talk to you. So that's actually quite a handy one. And the final one for the list, because we've got sort of three things for having a bit of a sneak peek at the end of today's program. So I've just gone over them at the moment in my list. But the next one, of course, is the Vision Australia Talking Microwave.
Is that your favourite?
No. It's not. Well, it could have been my favourite. This is only saying it passing now. This doesn't count because I'm not allowed to put it in my kitchen because we got our kitchen custom made or custom designed 5 years ago, and it doesn't fit in the hutch where the other microwave is.
Ah, bummer.
Because my wife did say it looked quite stylish.
It does. Very sleek and stylish.
Yeah, I think it's black and silver, isn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah, because apparently the other ones that we used to do looked a bit sort of bland, but apparently no, this one looks quite stylish. So that's if my wife said if it would have fitted, we probably would have got it. But what I like about it is it's nice and straightforward controls. Yes, it talks to you. I still don't quite know why talking microwaves say open and close when you open and close the door, because I'm not sure most people would know when they've opened and closed the door. But look, for a really, really good basic, but works well, reasonably family-sized microwave, it works really well. So if you're looking for a replacement microwave, and like me, you're not stuck with having a built-in microwave sort of cabinet in your kitchen, you can work it on the bench or something. This works really nice. And of course, you can go to the Vision Store website, so shop.visionaustralia.org, and have a look at the dimensions. Now, one person did point out an interesting thing about those dimensions, Tony, to me the other day. They said they don't know which way the dimensions go because some people get confused between the dimensions for height, width, and depth. So I can definitely say to people it's wider than it is width-wise, and it's the height is probably similar to its depth almost. So, but it's the bigger number is definitely the width of the microwave, not the depth.
Yep.
Because so I think sometimes we should actually put height blah blah blah, width blah blah blah, and depth because I always hate it when they say it's 35 by 22 by 10. You think, which way does that go? So but look, it's a really good microwave, easy to install.
Basically, plug and play. Plug and use. Sorry. Once you
it's a plug-in. It's a plug-in and use it. I mean, you simply plug it in and off you go. The wattage, I don't know what the wattage is. I think it's 900 watts. Yeah, which is not too bad. We tend to cook here at 900 watts anyway at home. I've never had mine go up to 1,000 or 1,500 hour one. But then again, my one's just got buttons on it. I can just start and stop and do minute timing. I can't use defrost. I can't use poultry. I can't use anything like that. So to me, my poor microwave, which by the way cost $800 when we bought it 5 years ago, I literally used it for defrosting vegetables by time or heating up my coffee, which is just a waste of a microwave. So, all right, so that's the main things from Vision Australia. And I was very nice to Quantum last week because I rang up and I said, look, we're doing a few items from the Vision Store. Did you want me to do a few things on some of the items that came out of Quantum? And of course, they said, yes, they did. So one of them that came out this year, and this range has been around for a while, it's the Clover range of video magnifiers. Tony, do you want to describe some of these and how they're sort of slightly different? For example, the Clover 6 as opposed to the Clover Lite?
Sure. So the Clover 6 is one of the newly models of the Clover range, and it has a versatile handle that you can fold out and use as a handheld magnifier, or you can fold it out and use it as a stand magnifier. But what's unique about the Clover 6 is that it has two cameras. So one camera for near and one camera for distance. And the camera that it uses for the live image is really good. It gives you a really clear live image. Magnification range, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's probably around the 2 times to about, I'm going to say 28 times, around that range. And it has the ability to capture and store images. You can change the contrast as with any other electronic portable video magnifier. But what's great is that of the dual cameras. So you can look at something in the distance, but you can also look at something close up, which is great with the Clever 6.
Tony, how portable is this? I mean, could you whack it in your pocket and then just wander off to the shops and take it out and have a look, or would you have to carry it in sort of a bit of a shoulder bag type setup?
No, you can whack it in your pockets. It's roughly, once you sort of, I guess,
fold it all up,
roughly, maybe the size of the larger iPhones or the Samsung phones.
What?
Roughly,
really
similar in size. Yeah, so no, it's really portable. So you can take it out and about. Look at price tag information, reading menus at the cafe or restaurant, as an example.
Well, I can imagine if you're dealing with the frozen aisle, like at Aldi, for example, where we do all our shopping, you could actually, if you couldn't quite see a price, you could just take a snapshot of it, bring it back to you, and then have a look at the price on the product.
Yeah, definitely. You can sort of zoom in on the screen as well.
That's good. The Clover Light?
The Cleverbook, the Cleverbook range is one is a light version. So this one basically just does magnification for close up only, and it if I was to describe it, it looks like a tablet that's sitting in a
cradle. Or a stand.
Or a stand. Yes, or a stand. Has a 12-inch screen, and you can use the physical buttons that's on the lower part of the screen. Yeah, there's a control panel. I'm just having.
You're doing well today.
Yeah, I'm doing really well today.
I've got to give you a bit of leeway.
But yeah, what's great about this is that you can do manual tasks or read books or magazines underneath. But the Cleverbook oh no, the Cleverbook. Just need to quickly. The other one, which is the advanced version, has a built-in distance camera, and it also has optical character recognition, so text-to-speech. So basically, if you have eye strain or visual fatigue from trying to read from an extended period of time, you can capture the printed text on the actual document itself and have it read aloud to you in your preferred language. So there is multiple languages available. A lot of the European languages are available, English, of course. But yeah, the distance camera, you can also look at things in the distance. So great for a classroom setting or a working professional. But bear in mind that this is just a digital magnifier only. It doesn't connect with the internet. Oh, can you hear me? Hello, David.
Hello. Just went flat on me.
Your camera is off for some reason.
I know. Hang on. I've had technical issues apparently. It's just weird thing to try to unlock my iPad.
So the advanced version is called Cleverbook Pro. So that one is the one that has the distance camera as well as the text-to-speech capabilities, and the other version, or the simpler version, is the Cleverbook Lite. And they're the newer models of the Clover range, which you can you can see at your flagship sites. So Kooyong, Parramatta, Coorparoo, and Perth. They all have the Cleverbook Pro, as well as the Clover 6. And I'm pretty sure in the new year, the other Vision stores will have this range as well on display.
Done. Now, can you hear me again?
Yes, I can, and I see you as
I
well.
was frantically scrabbling around trying to find cables just then because I couldn't work out why I suddenly went off again. So, no, that's good. So I'm assuming, Tony, though, the Cleverbook Pro, though, that's really a low vision with OCR. It's not, I mean, you couldn't use it as a dedicated reading machine if you're a vision impaired, a blind person.
No. The OCR capabilities is like a secondary feature, so I wouldn't use it purely just for that purpose. You're better off getting a standalone reading machine like the
Read
Clear
Easy
Reader or the Read Easy Evolve, or even like the All Cam Read as an example.
Okay, cool. All right. Now let me just see how we're going for time. Oh, going well. All right. So that's most of the stuff that I've personally come across and Tony's come across. Tony, do you have any last minute things before we get on a bit of a show and tell session?
No, I'm more excited about the show and tell session.
The show and tell session. All right then. Okay, so I have got here. So this is folded up at the moment. This is the WeWalk, WEWALK, and effectively it's a smart cane. So what happens is the cane that's folded up here, it basically
hold it up a little bit, David.
Sorry. Yep. So
cool.
this is the big sort of oversized golf handle that you normally get on most canes, except this has got all the electronics in it. And I've just woken it up. Sorry. Let me just. Thank you. So the fold up part of the cane slots into this shaft here, and that shaft basically,
David, sorry.
Yeah, and this basically shaft is screwed on to the bottom of the WeWalk device. And the way this primarily works is you're getting tactile feedback from the cane with the ground, with the cane tip, and then through the built-in WeWalk app, this here on the front, this little round hole, if you like, that's actually the sonar or the ultrasound transmitter and receiver. So it sends out a pulse of sound, brings it back, and basically it'll start vibrating if it detects anything within a certain preset range. So, for example, you've got, and this sounds weird because it's got maximum, medium, minimum, and low. But the way it really works is that low is really sitting between maximum and minimum, because when it says minimum, it really means minimum. So I had to literally stand there outside in the carport over the weekend. I thought, well, hang on a minute. If there's maximum, medium, and minimum, well, surely low's not going to be lower than minimum. So, and it isn't. It's about, I'd say, measurements, I think, and don't quote me on this exactly, but let's say, for example, minimum might be 0.5 metre, then low is probably 1 metre, medium is probably about 2 metres, and maximum is about 3 metres. So depending on your rate of speed of travel, so if you're like me, I tend to go between maximum and medium. The minimum setting is what you would probably traditionally use, or the low setting is what you would traditionally use for being inside. So if you turn the sonar sensor here slightly over that way, so if it's off on your hand pointing to the left or right, you can pick up gaps such as doorways and that sort of stuff. I'll just give you a show of the vibration it makes. So if I hold that here next to my...
Oh, yeah, I hear that.
Vibration, all right? No, that almost sounds like the TARDIS. Yeah, let's do that again, actually.
So as you go close towards an object, the vibrations get more intense?
No. So this is the difference between this one and... I'm just trying to turn this vibration off. Get off. I'm being too impatient with it. That's still going. That's it. Oh, no. I'm going to cheat and turn it off. Okay. It's got one of these. This touchpad's probably, I would refer to this little touchpad here, which is what I was just using as a capacitive touchpad. So it's really designed on your finger pressure responding. So when I'm running the WeWalk app on my iPhone, but it's also the same as on the Samsung Android phones, you can do a double tap to bring up the menu from the app on your iPhone. So it's in your pocket via Bluetooth headphones. You flick left and right to go between, my places that you've saved previously to navigate to, navigation, explore, sounds, and so on. And of course, when you want to activate something, you can double tap. You can turn that vibration mode on and off whenever you feel like it. And it's also got a very, very loud horn to get people's attention. So if you want, if you're trying to get into a railway carriage or up a flight of stairs and there's people in front of you, you can just simply do a double tap and it really lets rip this very irritating horn sound. This little indent here, that's where you actually put your thumb. So if I'm holding it like that, that's where I put my thumb to pick up the vibration of the vibrating motor inside the handle. So as Tony asked me a bit earlier on, the vibration starts vibrating as soon as it hits an object. So unlike the mini guide, for example, which gets harder and harder, or the buzz clip, which gets harder and harder up to about 50 centimeters, so arm's length, this one just starts vibrating straight away. And the other thing to note about the WeWalk is that because you're literally walking like that, so of course you've got it sloping down because you're holding it down because your cane's touching the ground in front of you and you're sweeping left or right or tapping left or right with your cane. This sonar sensor will only pick up things above your waist height, going above your head. So if you can imagine a cone of, half a metre, 1 metre, 2 metre or 3 metre beam shooting out in front of you, then going up a bit, that's how the actual sonar system actually works. So I did a bit of a test to confirm this on the weekend. Now, because I live on the Central Coast, New South Wales, around Gosford, there are no footpaths. So I've effectively got to walk on the road in the gutter. And I noticed when I was walking towards the car where the bonnet was facing me, because this is higher than the bonnet on small sedans, it wasn't picking up the sedan. But if I was walking to a back of a car, like a hatchback or an SUV, a station wagon that had a bit more substantial height at the back, it picked it up perfectly fine. So that would be my only warning, that if you're doing what I tend to call a bit sort of not rural travel, but when you're traveling around on places that you probably really shouldn't be with a cane, like as in on the road, then that's probably a little thing to be careful about. But what's really designed is to do things like pick up anything that's overhead, like branches, signs, and those sort of stuff that we always tend to hit as cane users. It's got some other really cool features in it as well. So when you put it in navigation mode and you navigate to a destination, it gives you clock directions. So it'll say, turn left on Narara Valley Drive at 9 o'clock. So you know you're turning left on the clock face. You turn right at 3 o'clock on the clock face. Your 12 o'clock is in front of you, your 3 o'clock is behind you. And I don't know what it is about clock directions, but I find them much easier than it's saying you're coming up to an east-west intersection. Please proceed north once you cross the east road. You think, what the hell does that mean? So, so the compass directions is actually really handy. You can also reverse trip. So you can do a search for any option you like from the app itself, the WeWalk app. So I search for, Narara Valley Station, Gosford Station, Niagara Park. So that's a route going from my home to there. And then when you get there, of course, if I was coming home from work, I can pick that particular my place and then do a reverse trip from the station back home again. So that actually works really well. and it's got this feature which I've actually turned off because I know where it is. But if you take your WeWalk or your iPhone away from your WeWalk and your WeWalk's still left on, it'll make a very loud, annoying sound at you to go, "Oi, remember me?" So you go back and pick it up and hopefully turn it off. Or from the iPhone, you can just do a Find My WeWalk and it'll play it manually. Do it that way, which is what I use. Or from the WeWalk to the iPhone, it's got a Where's My iPhone function. So it literally makes the iPhone ring. So you can find your iPhone, and that's actually really, really cool as well. And the actual training that comes with the WeWalk inside the app, which is called Academy, which sounds very impressive. It's a set of audio tutorials. So it teaches about the gestures, teaches you about the obstacle detection mode, the way to use gestures. It does have voice recognition, but I think Tony and I are going to ask the people in the overseas where it comes from, is it more designed for the US English voice rather than the Australian voice? Because you can say things like navigate to, a particular location. You can say what's the time, all those sort of things. And I haven't quite been able to get it to recognise my Aussie voice on a regular basis. The other thing you can do, which I don't think I've got mine turned on. Let me just turn it back on again. Oh, okay. Okay, we're just going to have to wait for my grandson was just born, by the way, guys.
Oh, wow.
Hooray! All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's okay. I'm almost finished. And then we'll race off. All right. So here, can you see that? Is that light on, Tony?
Your finger is just...
Where my finger is?
No, it's off.
Okay. So that's a little LED light. So when you're walking around in dim environment or dark, whoops, that was the horn, by the way.
Yep.
It actually illuminates. It up. So you've got better detection if somebody's walking towards you or driving towards you crossing a road. They can see the light coming out of the cane. And I think that's a really, really good handy feature to have. So that's the
You're on mute, David. Still on mute.
I must have got too excited when I'm talking about my grandson. All right. So so this is available from Vision Australia. You're able to grab it next year. But definitely with any electronic device, I always strongly recommend that you get an orientation and mobility assessment to make sure that this is the right device for you.
And I agree with that.
Yeah, because it's like a low vision assessment. You wouldn't, or even going to the optometrist, you wouldn't buy a set of glasses without having an optometrist to check, or you wouldn't buy an electronic magnifier without having a low vision assessment or talk to an orthoptist. And the same with these electronic aids. It's really important to make sure, because like I said, I mean, I might have thought that the WeWalk wasn't working because it wasn't detecting the cars and everything else properly. It's just because I've been using electronic aids so long that I'm used to it, but I'm only testing it. I'm not going to be using it as a permanent thing because I'm a guide dog user. So but it's here. Talk to your O&Ms about it and just get an assessment. So that's the WeWalk. And what should I? Oh, I'll do this one next. All right. So this one is going to be sold both from Quantum and from the Vision store, and this is the Blind Shell Classic 2. And as you can probably see, it's got real keys on it. So nicely well spaced, large chunky keys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. A nice big tactile dot on the 5. The control panel at the top above the keyboard. Oh, I think that was my son-in-law saying the baby's born via Face Messenger. That was actually on the Blind Shell. Okay, so God. So the top left-hand side, you've got a notifications button. Right-hand side, you've got a repeat button here. The two long buttons in the middle are basically up and down arrows. The left one is simply OK, and the right one is to go back. Jeez. Sorry, guys. How's this for live broadcasting, Tony?
Very live.
It is very live, isn't it? I might just see if I can I probably can't turn it down. But the other really cool thing about this, it is based on Android. Don't be put off by the fact that it says blind shell, because it's actually also a low vision phone as well. So you can do white on black, black on white, yellow on black color coding systems. And I'll just show you the menu. It's all right. Can you stop it for a minute? Thank you, my beloved. All right. So I've got call, messages, contacts, applications, settings, manual, which is actually the full manual. So so let's back up to the top. And calls basically simply, make call, check, miss calls, and that sort of stuff. And then if you want to check your notifications, you press the notifications button. Since I've got 1 new notifications, tells me the time and date, Wi-Fi state, Bluetooth state, signal strength, and battery state. And if I come out and I come down to applications, press OK.
Internet browser.
We've got internet browser, which actually does really work. And it's got different keys, so you can set things like header. You can navigate by header, by links, by text, by default. And it works absolutely beautifully for a basic web browser. Tools. You've got things like calculator and mail and that sort of stuff. But I want to show you the
media, books, games,
Vision Aids, which I think is a bit of a weird title. So I've got Be My Eyes for the volunteer video service. Beepers, which is actually a little NFC tag you can get to attach it to your keyring and make it beep so you can find your keys. Color indicator, what color things are. Google Lookout for object recognition. Localization, which basically means your GPS location. Magnifying glass, use it for low vision. NFC object tagging. QR object tagging, which is really good. And back to Be My Eyes. The other thing it's got, which I won't go into too much time in a moment because I'll run out of time yet again, but it's also got an FM radio. So it's a mobile phone with a real FM chip in it. So you can get access to terrestrial radios, which is really important in bushfire season. It does have internet radio also in it. And it also has the VA Connect app. So the Vision Australia Connect app, which connects you to the Vision Australia library, you can listen to your Daisy books, newspapers, and magazines. Weirdly, at the moment, because the VA Connect app hasn't been quite updated in, I think it's about 12 months, it puts podcasts under magazines. So if you can't find them, go to magazines or just select all categories and all your books, newspapers, and podcasts will come up. And then to lock it or unlock it, you simply hold down the star key and it's locked. If I unlock it again, I've unlocked it. And then if I want to change the profile, hold down the hash key or number sign key.
Change the sound profile. Ringtone and vibration selected.
So I can have ringtone and vibration.
Vibration only.
Vibration only.
Ringtone without vibrations.
Ringtone without vibration.
Silent without vibration.
Silent without vibration.
Airplane mode not selected.
And the one I wanted to show you, of course, was airplane mode. So when you get on an aircraft, you put it into this mode, it turns off all the radios, including FM, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi and cellular, so you can use it properly. In fact, what I might even do now,
Ringtone and vibration only.
I'm going to set it to vibration only at the moment, which I probably should have done before, Tony.
So it comes in two colors. The red, which is what you have, but also comes in a black as well.
One new notification. 1314.
It's funny. Every time I think something comes in red, I always think I want that one because it goes faster. So I've got a red car apparently. All right, how are we going for time, Tony?
I've got 15 minutes left.
Excellent. All right. So I'm going to show you the last one thing, and then we can ask for questions. It won't take me too long. This is called Talkings, as in TORKINGS, and it's a 3D Connect 4 game. So if I hold it that way, hopefully you can see the slots in it here. So I've got slots for my side going down this row. And then if I turn it over, I've got slots for this side. So if I hold it up, it's probably going to make more sense if I grab a token. So let's say I'm playing this color. So I'm going to put that in the grid that's furthest away from me. Okay, so down it goes to the bottom here.
Mhm.
So then I grab my token, because this is the Connect 4 game. It's the Australian version. So I think, all right, I am going to block this person going vertically. So I'm going to do my side and put my side down. So as you can see, from the sighted person's point of view, they can see that they're different coloured tokens.
Mm.
Okay, but to me, visually feeling them, they're both exactly the same. But if I turn it around, as if I'm reading it, that's my counter, because it's got the actual notch
Move
on
to
it.
the left a little bit, David. There we are. Yep.
Yep.
And down.
Cool.
Perfect.
Okay, so my one's this one here, because it's got the notch on it.
Yep.
And this is my opponent's one at the back. So if I'll just do one more play, and then, oops, I'll just do one more play. So if I take, so it's the opponent, and he is going to go, he's going to be sneaky and go to the next one at the bottom, because, you know, maybe I'm one person, I might not notice apparently. All right, so he's now got 2 in a row down the bottom.
Mhm.
So this is a quandary for me, because my question is now, do I go one to the right above his one, or do I go one down there to stop him going diagonally and vertically? So I just think I'm going to be very creative and just play his game. And I'm going to go to the third one along and put mine down. So now, if I hold it up that way, I can see it's his, and then his again. And then if I can tell it's mine, because it's actually further indented from his side. But if I turn it around like that, I've got his, and there's mine with the hash cut across the back of the token. So it does work really well. And this is a really cool bit, which I can't really show you on the camera, but there's a nice little lever here. And if I press that lever, and I'm not going to do it while I'm holding them in the air, but it spills off the tokens out that side to that player and to my side for my side, which means you can then just pick up all your tokens and pack them up or play again. And you can also connect this to another grid. So rather than having 2 versus 2, so rather than having 1 versus 1, you can have a whole family versus each other. And it's a really great fun day. And the reason why it's called Talking is because there's a lot more complicated gameplay you can do with it. But the basic version is absolutely brilliant. And that's Talkings. So do we have any questions from anybody?
So far, no questions. But do any people have any questions regarding the sneak peek products that will be ranging in 2022, which is the WeWalk, Smart Cane, the Blind Shell Classic 2 mobile phone, as well as Talkings, the Aussie version of the Connect 4 game, which seems really fun. In that you can connect other grids to it and incorporate more players. And then you mentioned that there are other games that you can sort of play as well, which sort of build on the Align 4 principle.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite amazing when you've got to take care of horizontal, vertical, and diagonal.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, all right. So that's good. So look, if you've got any information, you can find these next year because they are a sneak peek on our website next year. So that's the Blind Shell Talkings and WeWalk. If Vision Australia is closing down, remember, from the
24th?
Tomorrow, the 24th, and opening it back again on the 10th of January. The web store will be basically literally closed, but the warehouse will be open again and shipping again from I think it's the 3rd, isn't it, Tony?
That's correct.
January. And you can always email, you can always email anytime when we're open, of course, at Vision Store at visionaustralia.org. And of course, the web shop is shop.visionaustralia.org. If you want to write to me at Vision Australia, my email address is david.woodbridge@visionaustralia.org. Of course, Tony's is tony.wu, W-U, at visionaustralia.org. But I'm probably better at more responding because Tony's very busy. So if you want to bug me about products, and if I don't know, ask Tony anyway. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at dwoodbridge. And if you listen to my Talking Tech podcast series, my show coming out on the 4th of January is my review of products that go beyond Vision Australia. So I think I did mention a few Vision Australia ones, but I also mentioned a lot more geeky ones that I've personally purchased myself. So I think that'll do us for this webinar for today, Tony.
Thank you, David, and congratulations on the birth of your grandson.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So we have a question. As I understand, the blind shell does not have a touch screen.
Correct.
And what is the cost of the blind shell? That we'll have to find out in 2022, Kathy.
Yeah, correct.
It was just a sneak peek because we had a demo unit to show you guys.
Yep.
But stay tuned in 2022, and you better find more information as well as pricing for all the sneak peek products that David and I have just mentioned.
Yep.
But thank you everyone for your support and attending the Exploring Tech webinars. If you have any questions regarding any of the products that David has mentioned today, please feel free to contact the Vision Store team on 1300 847466 or email visionstore@visionaustralia.org. At the end of this webinar, there will be a short survey for you to complete. Any feedback that you can provide will assist us in improving our content and delivery of future webinars. We'll love you to join us again in 2022 for the Exploring Tech webinar series with David. So please check your emails and our website for further details. Thank you and goodbye. See you, David.
See you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Vision Australia.
Blindness,
low vision,
Opportunity.
Vision Australia logo. 3 navy blue ovals linked together diagonally within a bright yellow rectangle.